Hi, I'm Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you for all of your support of GunGuyTV. I am super duper grateful. I got an update I'm going to do for you every week just so that you can kind of keep up on what's going on with the Second Amendment fight around the country. So let's look at this first one. First, some good news. The Department of Justice under the Trump administration fired a powerful amicus brief in the Third Circuit Court arguing that New Jersey's ban on AR-15 style rifles and standard capacity magazines violates the Second Amendment, which obviously it does. This move supports striking down similar restrictions nationwide, with Assistant AG Harmeet Dillon emphasizing that the 2A is not a second-class right. This is a major push from the federal government to protect semi-auto firearms and mags. Next, Attorney General Pam Bondi's 2A task force is taking aim at red flag laws, filing briefs to challenge them in blue states like my own here in California. We really need to get rid of those things. And urging SCOTUS to affirm rights for non-violent individuals in cases like Range versus Garland. No more backdoor infringements on due process. In Florida, a court ruling has restored open carry rights after over 40 years, with the state's appeal window closing this week, a big win for constitutional carry expansion. In California, the Second Amendment Foundation fired back at California's mandatory surveillance of gun dealers in a Ninth Circuit brief, calling it an unconstitutional overreach. All right, well, anyway, that's the good stuff. There's more, but we're just hitting the highlights here. And now the negative stuff. Of course, you got to have that, right? In New York, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals just upheld parts of the so-called Concealed Carry Improvement Act. Not really named very well, is it? Including New York's bans on carrying in Times Square, the subway, and other so-called sensitive places. This is exactly what the Supreme Court warned against in Bruin, states inventing endless sensitive places to effectively ban carry everywhere. Certainly California is trying to do that. It's a dangerous ruling and one that will likely have to be fought all the way back up to the Supreme Court. In Chicago, the city is going after Glock with a lawsuit blaming the company for criminals illegally converting pistols into machine guns. Instead of holding criminals accountable, politicians are trying to bankrupt gun makers again and make it harder for law-abiding citizens like you to buy firearms. If they succeed, it won't stop crime. We know that. It will only weaken our rights. And finally, you may remember the case involving the attempted assassination plot against Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Well, prosecutors want a 30-year sentence. What this case really shows is that criminals with intent will always find a way to plan violence and, if they get away with it, to carry it out, which proves yet again that restricting lawful gun owners does nothing to stop people bent on committing crimes. The fight for the Second Amendment is raging in the courts, as you can see, in the legislatures and in the media. So don't get comfortable. Stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop defending your rights. Make sure that you are supporting 2A organizations. A lot of them are not getting as much support as before because people are getting comfortable. It's not the time to get comfortable. It's the time to continue and win. I'll be back next week with another Gun Guy TV roundup type update. In the meantime, wherever you go, whatever you do, stay safe.